Okay, so I want you to stop insulting and degrading women for wearing wigs
When did
and
I
doing blonde hair,
insult
because I
you?
want you to know that blonde hair, it can be a trait that any race can be born with. Okay, so when a black woman wears blonde hair, she's not trying to look white. She could be trying to look like a black woman with blonde hair.
Ma'am, okay, let's stop there. You said that blonde hair is not race specific, basically.
Yes,
That's true. But straight blonde hair is race specific.
that is also not true. Do you know that black people have the Eve gene? And the Eve gene means that we produce every single characteristic of the human race. So
So
therefore, a black person can have straight blonde hair naturally.
so you think cultural appropriation doesn't exist and white people can wear braids and stuff like that, right?
Culture appropriation does exist,
Okay.
and um, you cannot compare it to straight hair because straight hair is not a culture.
No, but but but
So
but peep this. If black women have the Eve gene and they created everybody else, that means white women are a part of black culture because they came from black culture. Am I right? By the Eve gene, that's what you're
no,
saying. Because black women created white women, basically.
no, that's you can't use that as a um an argument
Ma'am,
because
yes, I
there's
can.
still different cultures that exist. Even you cannot say just because black people have the Eve gene that cultures don't exist. You
I
using
never
that
said that.
argument,
I never
okay,
said
but
that.
you saying that argument is the same as saying that cultures don't exist.
No, it's not.
So
I'm
because
no,
black
I'm
people
saying,
have the
I'm
Eve
saying,
gene,
I'm saying you can't discriminate against a white woman for wearing box braids when she literally came from black women because you said because of the Eve gene, everybody comes from black women.
but that's just basically saying that everyone was evolution came from black women. That's not saying that different cultures didn't happen and different races don't exist.
Ma'am, I never ever said different races don't exist. I know that. That's why you said the Eve gene, because there are different traits that are specific to or that come from the black woman and that are going to all these races. But I'm saying if the black woman created all these races and all these physical features, then you guys cannot discriminate against white women because she's literally doing what's in her culture, and that's black
No,
culture.
no. That's not the Eve gene is not a culture. She's not coming from a bro. This is about characteristics. This is not about you're saying that like okay because she was she was evolutioned from a black woman that she can wear braids, right? That's what you're trying to say. But I'm saying that her heritage is still white and that's still her culture, so she shouldn't be wearing braids.
Okay, so let's use, I don't know how long y'all been here, but let's go ahead and use the culture argument one more time for you for tonight. So you're saying that white women cannot put in box braids because that is not their culture. Do you understand? Black women and black people in general, we take things from everybody else's culture. Yoga, kung fu, taekwondo, Christmas, birthdays, marriages. These things come from other people's cultures, the Europeans, Chinese people, Indians. So if we can practice these things, why can't they take this one thing and practice it too from black culture?
I guess they could practice it as long as they're like respecting it and not, using it in a bad way, like, you
Ma'am,
know what I
but
mean?
that's obvious. You're what black women say today is that they cannot wear it general, no matter if they're respecting it or disrespecting the culture. So they just have a problem. Like there's videos on the internet where black people or black women will attack a girl for wearing box braids, and she's just wearing a style. She never said anything disrespectful. So do you get where I'm coming from?
Well, we're really comparing it to here. We're not really talking about Christmas and Taekwondo and stuff like that.
Ma'am, but you got to understand, I'm using your cultural. Those are cultures. So I can tie those two together.
Christmas is not really a culture. That's like a religion. That's religious.
It's pagan culture, ma'am. Name me in the Bible where name me in the Bible where Christmas is mentioned.
Okay, but
It's not religious, ma'am. Holidays are not religious. They're pagan
isn't that
holidays.
celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ? Isn't that what Christmas is about?
It's a pagan holiday. Where in the Bible did Jesus tell you to celebrate his birth?
Well, that's just what humans choose to celebrate it about.
No, ma'am. You got to do your research. Everybody, if you don't know the research behind Christmas, go do it. It's a pagan holiday. It comes from Roman culture, European culture. So we're practicing things from other people's culture too. I'm not saying it's wrong for you to celebrate Christmas, but I'm saying if you're telling them that they can't do that, then you cannot celebrate Christmas either, or birthdays, or marriages.
Okay, well, let's move on to the fact that you still shouldn't be degrading Black women for wearing white hair or straight hair when
Why?
every other race changes their natural features also. Don't other races change their natural features too?
Like what? What do you mean?
Let's say white people, for example, they get lip fillers. Black people naturally have thick lips. They get lip fillers. No one's degrading white women for getting lip fillers and trying to look Black. You don't see white men doing that to white women.
So, like, what you sound like is like when I was a little kid and I would go and like eat some cookies, and then my brother would go get he would go eat cookies too, and he would get in trouble, and he would be like, "Well, he ate cookies, so why can't I eat cookies?" Like, bro, you sound like a kid saying that, because just because somebody else does something that's bad doesn't mean you're supposed to do it too just because they did it.
No, I'm saying that every race does it. So why are Black women the only one that are getting insulted for it?
Ma'am, white women get insulted for the lip fillers, okay?
No, I don't see no white people making TikTok saying, "Oh, you're trying to be a Black person. You're trying to be Black because you got lip fillers." Only you're doing that to Black women.
Does lip fillers mean you want to be Black?
Does blonde hair mean you want to be white?
So I never once answered your question with a question. So answer my question.
I'm saying, okay, so you want to say that lip fillers mean you don't want to be Black?
I didn't
So
say
I'm
that. I
saying
asked you a
that
question.
wearing blonde hair doesn't mean you want to be white, because that's what you tell Black women all the time, is that they want to be white because they're wearing blonde hair. So I'm saying white women are getting lip fillers, so now they don't want to be Black if they get lip fillers.
But I asked you a question though. Does lip
And
fillers
I'm
mean you
answering
want
your
to be Black?
question. No, just like how if you wear blonde hair, that doesn't mean you want to be white.
Man, but I never said blonde hair.
Yes, you did. All of your TikToks are saying you want to be white since you're wearing blonde hair. All of your TikToks are saying that.
Ma'am, chat. The whole night. I don't know how long you guys have been here, but have I been saying blonde hair or straight blonde hair? Blonde
Same
hair?
difference.
No, it's not. Because Black people can grow blonde hair, but not straight blonde hair. That is the point.
Okay, so and Black people can grow straight blonde hair too.
You're funny. You're funny. When did you come up with
Let's
that
use
joke?
another example. Okay, let's not use the hair. Let's use another example. What about Asian people that are born with Mongolian eyes and they get surgery to get double eyelid surgery? Do you
That's
know they do
bad
that
too.
too?
That's bad.
And we don't have Asian women, Asian men insulting Asian women for doing that. We only have Black men that want to insult Black women for doing what they're doing. Everyone
Ma'am,
is just trying to fit the beauty standard.
ma'am,
It's
how
not a crime. And you shouldn't be
ma'am,
insulting Black women for that.
ma'am, I never insulted anybody.
You always
Ma'am, let me
insult
finish.
them.
Let me finish. Number one, how do you know Asian men are not saying things about Asian women getting surgeries of their eyes? Because we don't live in a mostly Asian society. So most of your TikToks are not even Asian people. They're of Black and white people or American people. So you don't even know what they talk about in their society. So how would you say they're not talking about that?
Um, they're just not, because it would, I would have seen it, or it would have came up. I'm just saying the majority of
Because you
black
would have saw
men,
it. You would have saw it.
because
Okay.
actually I would have saw it because I'm actually very into Asian culture. I watch a lot of K-pop and stuff like that. So I probably would have seen it.
Man, your algorithm feeds you things that you normally watch. If you watch K-pop, K-pop has nothing to do with eye surgeries. But the point is, that's wrong too. Anybody trying to alter their self and trying to be somebody else, that is wrong. But I'm not going to sit up here and have 5, 10 different topics about different things, white women, Asian women, African. No.
Well, I'm just saying that every single race is over here changing themselves. So please don't just direct your hate towards black women, because
Man,
black women are not the only
how
ones
is
who's
it
doing
hate?
it.
When did I ever hate anybody?
Okay, so the hate is you making a TikTok walking up to black women and saying, "Oh, you want to be white because you're wearing that hair." That's insulting. That's degrading.
Ma'am,
And then having
number one,
comments full
number
of white
one,
people saying, "Yeah,
hold
they
on.
want to be like us."
Hold on. When I walked up to the black woman, I didn't say she wanted to be white. I asked her a question. I said, "Do you want to be white by wearing the wig?"
I
That's what I
can pull
asked
up
her.
one of your TikToks right now where the title of your TikTok is "Black Women Want to Be White."
Ma'am, but
I can pull it up.
okay, pull it up, but you'll see question marks too. But and even if that is the title, look at the context of the video. I'm asking her, did she want to be white? I didn't tell her she wanted to be white. And even if I did say she wanted to be white by wearing a wig, that doesn't mean I hate that black woman. If I hated if I hated a black woman, you know what I would say about her? I would talk about her lips. I would talk about her black nose. I would talk about her afro hair, because that is the black woman. The wigs, the wigs and the weaves, that is not the black woman.
You're insulting women for wearing wigs. That's insulting the black woman. You're telling
No,
them they look stupid with wigs on. That is insulting to them.
no, ma'am. I'm attacking the wig, not the black woman. But see, you guys today, you guys can't handle truth. We're the softest generation that ever lived. We're so soft, you can't even handle people speaking to you.
How can I not handle people speaking to me?
Because, ma'am, you guys get so upset. I can even hear it in your voice. You're upset because of the things that I said about hair, ma'am.
I'm upset because I just hate to see your TikToks when you talk so bad about black women, when no other race of men are doing that to their women. Only black women are over here insulting um their own women.
Ma'am, I only ever said anything about the black women who wear the fake hair. There's a lot of videos I make that where I interview black women with their natural hair out. And I'll be like, how did you get your hair like that? Your hair looks so nice. It doesn't matter how or what type of style they have in their head. As long as it's natural, I always compliment their hair. So how do I hate black women when I compliment their hair and tell them to wear natural hair?
The TikToks you make are obviously insulting to black women. You're obviously trying to make fun of them for wearing wigs. That's insulting to black women.
Are you black?
Do I sound black?
I don't know. That's why I asked you.
Yes, I am black.
And how do you wear your hair?
I usually wear my hair in braids.
Okay. Do you wear straight hair? You straighten your hair, wigs?
I do it on special occasions, I'm allowed to do it
Why is it a special occasion?
because I want to look different.
Okay, so
When you're going out for a special occasion, you want to look different from how you usually look. That usually exaggerates your look because it's a special occasion.
uh, a special occasion is like a birthday, a wedding, a graduation. These
Yeah.
are significant events in our life. So
Yeah.
for you to put fake hair or straight hair with a significant event, why are you putting straight hair on a pedestal?
It's not putting it on a pedestal, it's wanting to look different from how you look every day because it's a special occasion.
Yeah, I understand that. But with your natural hair, you can switch it up to many different hairstyles. Like
I want you to understand
you could do so many
that
things, braids, afros, twists. You could shape your afro into different shapes, like hearts. I seen a girl on Instagram who does that.
there's also the problem with natural hair is actually kind of hard to manage, and it also doesn't if you're going to do it for a special occasion, do you know that it's easier for natural hair to like not stay in its form, basically curl, like if you was to put in curling rods in it, if you're going out for a special occasion, it's more likely to change form or not stay the same how you put it. And it's also harder to manage, and it goes through a lot more damage when you have it out, so that's why people like to protect their natural hair.
Yes, ma'am. I do understand that they like to protect their natural hair. But you can wear black men, we wear our hair out all the time. We wear afros and dreads and twists. How come we're not having to put on wigs and weaves?
Because you guys don't have to manipulate your hair. Female hairstyles are just a lot of manipulation to the hair.
Ma'am, but I'm saying you talked about protection and your hair being at risk because you're leaving it out. I appreciate the gift. How come us black men, we're not going through these same, oh, we have to protect our hair because if we leave it out for one day, you know, something's going to come and get us. What's
because
simply,
women because women try to grow their hair long and men usually keep their hair short, so it's easier to have it out every day if it's going to be kept short. But if you want it to grow long, you have to put it in protective styles so it doesn't like fall off and go with the wind when you have it out all the time.
ma'am, I do understand that, but there's men who grow their hair out and they put their hair in protective hairstyles. My point is, why do you need fake hair?
Because
Ma'am,
men usually
you
like
don't.
shorter hairstyles when they're doing their protective hairstyles. It's usually like shorter hairstyles. If you want your hair to grow long, you add extensions to make it go longer, maybe
Ma'am,
because we just want our hair to look longer.
okay, so what I want you to do for a second, just stop and breathe. And you don't always have to try to be right. Like sometimes it's okay to realize, hey, maybe he's right. Like, because what you're doing right now is you're trying to find excuses to back up your claim, and none of the excuses make any sense. And you're avoiding the question a lot of the time. So sometimes, like, I've been wrong. Even on here, I've been wrong a couple of times. I looked up things. I was like, okay, she was right, and I know I acknowledged her. But you guys come up here and you can never acknowledge when you're wrong. It's okay to be wrong.
I didn't avoid any question. You asked me why people don't usually wear natural hair on special occasions. I'm telling you because it's harder to maintain.
Yeah,
Natural
ma'am.
hair is harder to maintain.
Ma'am, the no, the question I asked you was why do you need the fake hair?
Because sometimes you just want a different hairstyle. You don't want the same hairstyle. Men who have their natural hair, they usually keep it in the same hairstyle for a long time. Women
No,
want to
so
have different hairstyles all the time.
ma'am, we were talking about hair protection, and then because you were saying that's why they put on the fake hair and things like that to protect their hair, whatever. I was asking you, how come black men don't need to protect their hair like that and put on these wigs and
And
weaves?
and my answer is because they usually have short hairstyles.
Man, but
And in order
okay,
to
but I
grow your
told you,
hair longer,
hold on. I told you that there's plenty of black men that have long hair. They have long hair that's down to here. There's just one dude. I'm pretty sure y'all seen him. He has a huge afro, and he be doing those TikTok dances, and like with the African people, and he'll like go underwater and he'll get back out, and his hair is like waterproof, and his hair is super long. So how come he doesn't need a wig?
that's like a different hair. He probably has a looser hair type, but people with like 4C hair, you need to have it in like a protective hair for it to grow long. You can't have it out. I have 4C hair,
Okay,
so I know
okay.
what I'm talking about.
Trip on this though. the There's a black woman. Her name is Lindsay Crystal on YouTube. She has the longest hair I've ever seen. Her hair is 4C. She never puts wigs or weaves on. She gave that up like maybe 10, 15 years ago. And she has hair longer than yours, longer than anybody you've ever seen as well. How come she doesn't need a wig?
Um, she doesn't need a wig. Sometimes you just want to use a wig as a protective hairstyle. You don't have to use a wig as a protective hairstyle.
Ma'am, I understand that, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna bring you down because it's honestly just sad to me how you guys can never just realize like, hey, like all these excuses I'm saying, they don't make sense. They don't make sense. None of them, no excuse you made makes sense. And I hope so. What I'll do is post this on my YouTube channel, same name, Stop Playing Trey, so you can go back and listen to yourself and see how the excuses you're making make no sense.
My standpoint is I do think black women look beautiful naturally, but what is your problem? I don't understand. That's just it seems like the most ignorant argument. What's your problem if a woman wants to wear her hair straight?
So number one, straight hair damages it. Wigs damage your hair as well. The maintenance of it, like the spending money, it costs a lot of money as well to upkeep these wigs and weaves. So if she has natural hair, then why do that?
I don't know. Maybe she feels better. Would you ask a trans person why would you castrate yourself to feel more like a man or a woman?
Of course.
I mean, that's okay. Yeah, me too. But I mean, all right. It just seems like a divisive argument. It's honestly borderline racist.
It's
I've
not
seen
racist, it's my
well,
own
no, I've
race.
seen a lot of comments.
Uh-huh.
People talking about what's wrong with wanting to be white.
Well, you should want to be yourself because if you want to be somebody else, that means you have a level of self-hatred. And but if they wanted to be white, at least just acknowledge and say, "Hey, I want to be white." Don't lie about it.
Well, maybe they don't want to be white, but the beauty standard is the white woman in
Right.
America.
You're right.
So I mean,
But that's what black people have been fighting against for years, just trying to be accepted into society and to have their own standard. So that's why I just it doesn't seem right for them to keep wearing straight hair, damaging their hair by straightening it to try to appease to be or to be accepted into society, right?
they shouldn't feel the need to be accepted. They are accepted. The most beautiful women, some of the most beautiful women I've seen, black women with afros.
Right.
I agree with you there. I just don't like this argument in general, because we're not gonna come to a conclusion. There's not gonna be like an epiphany where all black women are gonna stop wearing wigs. You see what I mean? Like,
Right. But
but
there is progression. But
okay,
my
if
thing is, how would you feel if you lived in a predominantly black society and people teased you for your straight hair and every day of your life you had to go and put on an afro wig? Like, how would that make you feel?
I wouldn't have to put on an afro wig, bro. I'd give it straight back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can make fun of me all you want. Kiss my ass.
Thank
Like,
you.
my
And
hair's
that's
my hair.
exactly what black women should do as well. The same thing.
So that's your point.
Yes, that's one of the points that they shouldn't care about how society feels. They should just be themselves.
I agree, but I think some of them do that because I don't know. I mean, I have seen black women that do. Like, I mean, I think the girl that on the right there with the blonde hair, I think she looks good. But but you are correct that it's damaging to your hair. But sometimes braids are painful too. There's two sides to the coin.
That's true. That's true. But I mean, if they do them right, like not tight and all that, they don't have to be painful. They just got to learn how to do their natural hair. A lot of people don't know how to do their hair. But what last points do you have? I appreciate you coming up.
Just no points. Just keep the racism down in the comments. We're all human. It's like the Brazilian guy said. And that's in America, where the government's all about dividing. Don't fall into the bullshit. Black women, you look beautiful, natural. White women, I'm tired of white women getting their lips filled. They look beautiful, natural. And especially, I just had a Cuban girlfriend that I broke up with because she had to get a butt job. You know what I mean? A Brazilian butt lift. That's a no from me. Why are you doing that? Your natural self is your most beautiful self.
That's facts. I appreciate that message, sir. You have a great rest of your night.
You as well.
See, and they say that they say that white men don't care about lip fillers and BBLs. Bro, come on. All men want their women to be natural. All men. And the men that tell you otherwise, most of them just be simping. I'm not gonna lie, because simps will tell you anything just to get a little piece of box. You don't even got to give them the full thing. You could just like touch them with it. They'll be okay. Let's see. I seen this guy right here for a while. If he's still here.
What's good, my man Trey, man?
What's going on, man?
What's good, bro? Yo, if you can, man, follow me, man. I would love to do like a co-host show with you, man, because I've done this topic as well. And the same thing, I get the hate, the dislike, and the same thing, like they keep telling us we're hating. I'm like, we're encouraging Black beauty. How is this hatred? We're encouraging Black beauty. We're saying you look better with, like you said, with your afro puff, your locks, your twist. You look better like that. How is that hatred, bro? You know what I mean? It's just so like it's amazing how they just, it's just that they don't want to take accountability. That's really what it comes to. But real quick, I hope that the ladies listening heard the two white people. The earlier the lady, she admitted that, when he asked her would she wear afro, she was like, no, I would never do that, right? So that means, but notice how she was like, but it's okay, y'all can wear whatever you want. But notice she admitted she wouldn't wear your hairstyle,
Right.
or our hair texture. She was like, it's okay for y'all to imitate her. Right. But she said, but when I wear the afro, I would never do that. And what did he just say too? He just said the same thing. Well, the beauty is the white standard. So they just admitted what Brother Trey is trying to say.
Wow,
that
that's a
the
great
the
point.
cause of this is actually white beauty standards, white racism. And unfortunately, whether you're doing it consciously or subconsciously, that's what you're doing by wearing the straight blonde wigs and all that stuff like that. You know what I mean? So you got to just admit it. Just like the other one, she could admit that the lips was the lip fillers is an imitation of trying to be Black. Okay, then. So when you try to wear their hair like them, you're trying to imitate them. Just be real with it, like
Right.
Come on.